This meeting is called to order.
Exactly.
This work session, regular meeting of the Township Council is called to order in accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. Be advised that adequate notice of this work session, regular meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, was made by passing the bulletin board, by the posting on the bulletin board at the municipal complex and transmitted to the officially designated newspaper, a list of dates annually indicating that this work session regular meeting would take place at the Franklin Township Municipal Complex on Tuesday, November 22nd. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by our township manager and invocation read by Councilman Jim Vasanella.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we all take the time this week to remember everything we have to be thankful for and spend time with and appreciating the people close to us in our lives. Amen.
Madam Master Clerk.
Deputy Mayor Chase, Councilwoman Francois, Mayor Kramer,
Here.
Councilman Oni Jaka,
Yes.
Councilman Prasad,
Here.
Councilwoman Robinson, Councilwoman Sherman,
Here.
Councilman Vasanella,
Here.
Councilman Wright.
Thank you. Item number 5, commendations and proclamations. Central Jersey College Prep Charter School, National Blue Ribbon School. That'll be presented by Councilman Prasad. Go to it.
Be right there.
You're more than welcome.
So we can turn that around.
Surprised it wasn't Carl. Didn't his son go here? Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, he's out of school.
Yeah, I never knew where they, I never knew that. Never saw them.
Okay, it's live. All right. Excellent. Thank you. So it was brought to our attention that one of our charter schools, Central Jersey College Prep, won the U.S. Department of Education National Blue Ribbon School Award. And so we just decided to recognize their excellence. And we hope that all other schools can also strive for the same excellence. And Bridgewater is one of the school systems that already has achieved that. And be glad to see that happen here also. So we'll all work towards that, and that's a goal for all of us. But congratulations, and let me read the commendation. Yeah. Whereas the National Blue Ribbon Schools program recognizes public and private elementary, middle, and high schools based on their progress in closing achievement gaps among student subgroups. And whereas every year the U.S. Department of Education seeks out and celebrates great American schools, demonstrating that all students can achieve to high levels, and whereas the National Blue Ribbon School Award affirms the hard work of students, educators, families, and communities in creating safe and welcoming schools, where students master challenging content, and whereas Central Jersey College Prep Charter School in Franklin Township has been named one of 2016's National Blue Ribbon Schools, whereas Central Jersey College Prep Charter School will be celebrating this award with its community on November 29th in their school auditorium. Now, therefore, we, Rajiv Prasad, Councilman, and Philip Kramer, Mayor of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, on behalf of the Township Council and the citizens of the Township of Franklin, do hereby commend and congratulate Central Jersey College Prep Charter School for receiving this prestigious award and wishing them continued success. Thank you. Mr. Surgeon is the CEO of the Central Jersey College Prep, and we'd ask him to say a few words. This is for you, and that's Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much. This is a great honor. Mayor Kramer and Councilman, we are so honored to receive the National Blue Ribbon Award as well as this commendation. And we humbly accept this commendation on behalf of our larger community, including our students, parents, and the supporter of the schools, including the city staff and the Mayor Kramer and the old councilman. Central Jersey College Prep is the only charter school among the recipients of the National Blue Ribbon Award in 2016 in the state of New Jersey. And our school is the only second charter school in the history of New Jersey. So we're so honored. We feel very supported by our larger community. And taking this as an opportunity, we would like to invite Mayor Kramer first and all councilmen to our Blue Ribbon ceremony that we're going to hold at this school on the 29th, Tuesday at 10:30. We will be, yes, appreciate it. We'll be honored with your participation in the event. I'm sure our community, our students and parents would like to see you as a supporter of the school at the award ceremony, and actually throughout the year at every opportunity. Please make time and take time to come to the school, visit the students, visit the staff, and see what's happening at the school. We'll be honored with that. And thank you very much for the commendation again.
Thank you.
Can we get some picture taken? And I'd like to invite my staff and parents, and please come over.
Who's going to take the picture?
And we have students too. Come on.
I finally asked Sandy Franchek about the smell. The lady who comes about the smells from that. She lives on Hillcrest, isn't it? No, Sandy's just on Hillcrest. Oh, yeah?
Lou brought it up. Carol Peterson about the lady with the smells,
Yeah, that's funny. She said nothing. She said there's no smells.
Be nice. We can go
Yeah.
home last. I have to start cooking.
No, she said that she knew her when there was another company, and Jerry, her husband, led the.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Right. Right. And Jerry had led that. And Sandy said she was very helpful and she was a strong contributor, but she said she doesn't.
The next item on the agenda is public discussion.
I finally got.
Do I have a motion to open the meeting to public discussion?
So moved, Mayor.
Second it.
Moved and seconded, seeing no discussion on that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Meeting is open for public discussion. Anyone wishing to speak on matters pertaining to government may come to the mic, 5 minutes person, no yielding of time,
It's ready.
and you may only come up once.
She wants to talk about helping people need.
Sure. When you come up, please state your name and address.
And
Good evening, Mayor and council members, my name is Susan London, and my address is 140 Piccadilly Place in Somerset, New Jersey.
Okay, second floor.
I've come here tonight inspired by Kayla Santususo, who is the Deputy Director of the Arab American Association of New York, who is now working to establish training on how to intervene and de-escalate in the face of hatred and harassment of people. So it's not enough just to be a person willing to speak up when witnessing harassment of a friend and neighbor for their religion, skin color, sexual orientation, or identity. They need training on intervention and de-escalation techniques to protect the safety of the person being targeted and themselves. My goal is that all groups within our community will know how to obtain such training on an ongoing basis. But another goal is that people in our community who now fear they're going to be targets of hate and harassment will be able to know that their neighbors will stand up for them. That's why I think such training should start in public meeting rooms like this council auditorium, like the library, like the Villagers Theater. Those in attendance will see the community can and will come together. The first step would be to find people who could provide this training, find out the cost, the length of time, and different levels of training that may be available. I'll update this. I've been trying to contact various civil rights groups. I've only started so far with the ACLU and the Southern Poverty Law Center. I've been looking on the internet for groups for various peoples like the Anti-Defamation League, the Latino Civil Rights and Advocacy Group, and the Asian Americans for Civil Rights, the NAACP. I haven't approached them yet, but I have a feeling their plates are full at the moment, and I'm not likely to get a prompt response on my own. So if the council is interested in this idea, I would ask for their assistance and advice in making this happen. And I think that if they agree that a request that comes from a council or the mayor will be likely to provide a more rapid response than I can achieve as an individual. I'm finished.
So, if I may, Susan, I don't know whether we have any resources within the township, and I would ask the manager if he's aware of anything. There's nothing that we do to train the public, and is it a problem to train the public?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm online searching for locations that I could think of right off the top of my head right now, and I'm actually on the New Jersey Civil Rights Commission website to see if there's anything available there. I don't know, and so it would be something we'd have to research.
Are we aware of any harassment issues in this,
No,
our
not that I'm
community?
aware of.
Not
No.
that you're aware of.
The bias reporting, bias incident reporting is a very detailed and strict issue as far as law enforcement is concerned. So if anything have been reported, it would have been reported to the state. There's a procedure in place, and it's been in place for years for any type of bias-related crimes, and I'm not aware of any. I'm certain that the chief of police would have let me know if there was any, and I don't believe there's been any reported in years here in Franklin.
So let's hope we don't ever see it, but the environment may change. I know Southern Poverty does training for tolerance. Teaching tolerance is something that they do. They may be a good resource for this, to reach out to them.
I did reach out
And
to them.
you actually spoke to them? Okay.
No, through their website.
Okay. And there's nothing being done at this point. This
They
person that,
haven't responded, and
Oh,
I only
haven't
sent it in today, so.
oh, all right. Okay, so you may get something. The person who's organizing this in New York, does she have any resources?
Well, as I said, she is the deputy director of the Arab American Association. I'll tell you, her effort began because she had requests by people who want to be accompanied on their commutes. And I will point out that even though there may be no incidents reported in the township, that doesn't mean incidents haven't occurred where people have been taunted. Plus, we have our people leave the township and commute to work in other communities where they may be harassed.
Mr. Mayor? Yeah, Ms.
Councilman
Ludden.
Purcell.
Firstly, I applaud you for your efforts, and I join you in your efforts. And one suggestion I have is that I am very well involved with the interfaith community, which is our 70 houses of worship. And it's led by a house of worship vice president, Dr. Alex Karazi, and he opens up his mosque for meetings and everything, so he promotes all kinds of things, and especially something of this nature is of concern to them. And I can give you the contact for Dr. Karazi, and he can put you in touch with the other houses of worship that are here, and they're all unified in that effort. So it's something that you can reach out through them and have access to all the people, firstly, and secondly, venues for doing the training. So as long as you can provide the trainers, the rest can all happen. So it is something of concern to all of us, and please, contact Dr. Karazi, and hopefully we can all work together to make sure nothing untoward happens. We, being good scouts, I think we should be prepared and, prevent anything from happening. So that's,
And as I said, it's a two-step
So-
goal. The second goal was that people see other communities stepping forward together.
Right.
I can think of nothing better than to have all the groups, not just
Ma'am,
having one group at a time separately.
excuse me, ma'am, you're over time. If council wants to respond to you, they certainly may. Excellent suggestion, Mr. Prasad.
Thank you very much.
Beyond excellent. Perfect. Councilwoman Chanel Robinson.
Mr. Lundy, I just want to, again, piggyback off what Councilman Prasad just said. I'm willing to, whatever resources that are available to me, make sure you have that contact information. And we do have to make a valiant effort together in order for it to be a success. And we don't have to wait for something to happen, whether it's happening in our own community or not. Now is the time to rise up and make sure that it continues that way. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Thank you, Councilman.
yeah, I'll give you my card.
Thank you, Ms. London. Thank you for coming up. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Hello, Town Council. Brendan Murphy, 37 Magellan Way, Franklin Park, New Jersey, 08823. No, so I work as a substitute teacher at Franklin. I've grown up in Franklin all my life. I work as a strength and conditioning coach over there. Sports are very important to me, and I've noticed there isn't much of a correlation to the amount of athletic fields we have and actual leagues that are actually running. So I was just wondering if we do have any initiatives that are based on trying to bring athletics back into Franklin, because I have seen personally growing up here that there is, I wouldn't call it deterioration of the sports, but you can see that there's a rich history of athletics in Franklin. Just being at the high school, you could see the list of.
May I ask which sports you're concerned about?
A lot of every sport in general, women's sports as well, because they're on the rise too.
Which sport?
We have.
I mean, there's over 1,000 youth that play soccer in this town. All right. The Pop Warner football program has no more room for expansion. Little League is continuing to grow and add fields. What sport are you talking about?
Yeah, so I would be talking about bringing athletes out of the town into our town, either through sports camps or.
Mayor?
Okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Let him
Sure.
finish and you can reply.
Go ahead.
We're taking his time. Go ahead.
And then also just to touch on I'm also big into the environment, and I was just wondering if we also have any initiatives that are built around sustainable energy. I know that we have a lot of tech companies in Franklin, and I was just wondering if they have any idea of how they can get renewable energy into Franklin.
So my two suggestions for you are, we have a rec council that meets, I don't know, Manager Vornlocker, do you happen to remember when, or Councilman?
Our advisory
right.
recreation, I mean, it's on the website, it's in the newsletter, it's certainly readily available. Off the top of my head, no,
Right.
I don't remember it. So,
And we also have an environmental commission.
Environmental Commission.
Perhaps you can go to those meetings, perhaps eventually, when the openings come up, you can get on those commissions.
And these are just
I mean,
online?
you have a lot of energy, and we were a little put back because we spend a lot of effort on sports, but anyone who's coming forward and trying to increase sports in town, that's a good thing. So I advise you to get involved with those. You have my number here. You can call me, and I can further help you do that. But great sentiment. Councilman Vasanella, did you have?
Oh, I was just going to say, I was trying to understand. So some of our sports, like the manager was mentioning, soccer, Little League, Pop Warner, I'm not sure. They all have different rules because they're private, although we work hand-in-hand with them. Point is that some of them allow people from other towns to join, some don't. I don't know what the rules are. But there are outlets for people to come in. Now, I don't know if you're talking about arranging matches or tournaments or something. I mean,
I was just
you
trying
know,
to
there's the rec council would be a great place to go as far as having. I think they already play some of the sport clubs, groups, teams play people from other towns, but maybe you can increase that and form something else. It's always good to work with neighboring towns and towns' youth to intermingle and But as far as we do have a lot of programs, and we do have, I think, a monumental between our schools and our private clubs and our rec department. So what they said, ditto to the mayor.
Thank you.
Councilman Chase.
Well, as you probably know, we're about to develop sports facilities at Catalpa Farm, where you live, cricket fields, tennis courts, basketball courts there. We have other things in the works which I think will provide more soccer fields. Particularly for cricket, we do have two teams in a league that play teams from other communities in the general area, although they're, I'm sure Councilman Prasad can give me more chapter and verse on that, but they're quite successful in their leagues. They're just looking for more places to play, so we are developing that. And we have other, as I mentioned, we have other things in the works which should provide more space for soccer. So, and on the environmental side, the Environmental Commission does have a vacancy, which we would love particularly to get somebody younger to join us. We meet on first and third Mondays of the month at 7 p.m. First Monday in the large conference room across the hall, and third Monday in here, although we won't have a meeting the third Monday in December. But you can come and hear what we're doing. And of course, the Township has done a number of things to be more energy efficient, solar cells on the roof, upgrading our HVAC systems, upgrading our, well, particularly a cooling system in the police building, upgrading our lighting systems, and this is really an ongoing effort. We should be upgrading the lighting systems further. We went from incandescent to fluorescent, now we want to go to LEDs, and also extend this to more township buildings. So these are things that are ongoing, and of course the school system, the Claremont Avenue School is about to be built, will be at least probably LEED gold. They're trying to make that as energy efficient as they can afford, so to speak. So these are aspects of our energy-saving environmental efforts.
Thank you. Your time is up. Oh, sorry?
Just one comment.
Councilwoman.
Are you specifically speaking of like youth intramural sports that are not offered at the schools or maybe
Yes.
not offered? Okay, I just want to understand. While there are a lot of sports and recreation that are offered in the town, like even with Pop Warner or soccer, there are a lot of kids who can't afford some of the price points. So,
Well, we offer sports programs to literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of children here in Franklin Township annually on a sliding scale based on need. So our recreation program, you really need to go online and look at our website, because if you can't find, I just had this conversation with the recreation director 2 days ago. If you are a child or you have a child and you can't find something for that child to do that's provided by our recreation program, I would be shocked, but you should let us know, because everything from chess to high to dancing to Zumba to basketball, you name it, they offer it, and it's offered around, throughout the year. So if you're a kid and you want to be involved, and we even have now a program that offers multiple sports training in one program.
and I'm not saying that we don't. I'm just saying if there's anything else that we don't offer, to your point, Mr. Manager, is to bring it up and let us know.
As I said, you have to let us know.
That we do not have. But I just wanted to clarify if you meant specifically intramural sports, because there are a lot of things that are offered to our youth here in Franklin Township.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Yeah, I remember I got a bag of them before.
Seeing no one come forward, Mayor, a motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of closing?
Aye.
Aye.
Say aye already. You did. Anyone opposed, say nay. Motion is passed. The meeting is the public portion of the meeting is closed. Next item is council comments and committee reports. We shall start from my left with Councilman Wright.
No comment, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Wright. May this be as brief as our public comments. Councilwoman Chanel Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no committee report updates as of now, since they will not be meeting until after this meeting has taken place. And I apologize for being late. I was at a criminal justice reform that was being held by Senator Cory Booker in Piscataway, New Jersey. So actually, I saw quite a few people from Franklin Township that were in attendance, so that's a good thing. I just wanted to report back that some of the topics and sessions that were held in New Jersey League of Municipality that I attended, that I'm looking to bring some ideas back here to Franklin, going back to what I've always said about not reinventing the wheel. I attended the Urban Mayors Association, where the Township of Bridgeton and Madison and some other, Passaic, Perth Amboy, mayors were in attendance, and they talked about things that they are doing to actually bring in businesses, whether it's existing businesses, small or large, and bringing in additional businesses, and setting up a council that works with the Chamber of Commerce, and to make sure that we continue to bring in rateables. So again, we've already started down that path with the Hamilton Business District, and I just want to be part of the team that makes sure that that goes off as a success here in Franklin Township. I also attended cybersecurity, which IT is in my wheelhouse on my day job, but it was even a great pleasure to see our own mayor facilitating that session, and our IT director actually being one of the presenters. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving to all, and I have nothing else to report at this time.
Thank you, Councilwoman Chanel Robinson, Councilman Prasad.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Few things. The interfaith community is actually doing a used coat drive. It's headed by the Middlebush Reformed Church, and they're accepting donations Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Especially kids' coats would be greatly appreciated. And this is actually, the whole program is run by Jersey Cares, and it expires on the 4th, so that they can sort everything out and get those distributed. So if you have coats that you want to get rid of, that's a great place to help your fellow neighbors. Speaking of the New Jersey League, there were very interesting sessions there, and I attended the Homeland Security presentation on homegrown terror, and that was interesting, of what causes it, signs to look out for, etc. And there were also sessions that I attended on the legal issues affecting houses of worship. So those were some of the sessions, and beyond that, I got to meet a gentleman from the Department of Environmental Protection, who we discussed our compressor issue with the gas pipeline at Trap Rock. And he has offered to help us and advise us, so that's a good thing. And he's told us to start laying the foundation now to prevent this whole thing from passing. So, and we've also lobbied future governors, et cetera, on that issue, and they're all in sync on that. The community cafe, we're still looking for sites in the 4th and 5th Ward, and, you know, so our interfaith community is the one sponsoring that, and hopefully we can get this community cafe going for people who have no home, who cannot benefit from our food bank, and there's about 2,000 or 3,000 families that are benefiting. And in this time of Thanksgiving, maybe we should be donating something to the food bank as well for those that are less fortunate and fallen on hard times. So that's about it. Have a happy and safe Thanksgiving, and thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Prasad. Councilman Jim Vesino.
Thank you. Congratulations to Central Jersey College Prep Charter School. I know that getting that National Blue Ribbon designation is not an easy thing to acquire. The gentleman, he's still here, about the sports. Again, there is everything. One thing I don't think we do have, so if you want to pursue or just along those lines, I don't think we have bocce ball, and I know that actually is something that youth is rarely drawn towards, or maybe.
There's bocce courts at Colonial Park.
Colonial Park.
I know, I meant we don't have any in a township park or in our rec program. But point is, there are other things, and please bring them to the table. But overall, I think we're all very strongly proud of the fact that we do have, we have a lot, and not just for youth, but for every age, seniors. Might be interested in having youth and senior tournaments of various things, but again, anything you can bring to the table, I'm sure they'll be open-minded at the rec meeting. Just wanted to give a quick update. Hamilton Street hasn't met. We meet again in the beginning of December, but anybody who does get a chance to drive down the Hamilton Street area or wants to, we have some projects that are actually in construction. The largest ones are yet to start. A couple of smaller ones on the New Brunswick end of Highland, between Highland Avenue and New Brunswick. We have a couple projects, but next month we have Councilwoman Kimberly Francois, Chanel Robinson, and Councilman Wright that are on the Hamilton board, and we will give you an update as far as those projects. But please consider visiting Hamilton. There are some interesting businesses that are opening. Last thing I just want to say is you can never be thankful enough for what you have and never think too much about, you can never think too much about those less fortunate. So keep in mind this week, and like Councilman, I think Prasad mentioned, there are those who don't have enough food even this week. So our food bank always accepts donations, and now more than ever could use them, I'm sure, for the holiday period. Stay warm. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Vasanella. Councilwoman Kimberly Francois.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I too apologize for being late. I work in New York City, and sometimes it's impossible to get here by 7 o'clock, even if I leave at 4:30. And with Mr. Trump living in New York, he holds up the Lincoln Tunnel. The traffic is backed up. He's coming in, he's leaving out. It's just a mess. It's just a nightmare. So hopefully he'll move down to the White House pretty soon, and we'll vacate his residence in New York City for some of us that work there.
I think there's someone in the house right now.
I mean, eventually, it can't be soon enough for some of us that work in New York. It's just, you have to see it to believe it, believe me. Anyway, that was a digression. I just wanted to say that 429 Lewis Street is coming down. We're finally going to tear that building down. There's been a lot of asbestos that's been abated, and that's the building that we are planning on building a youth center. It's a former Somerset Community Action Program building, and we're looking to build a youth center. So there's still a need for input and planning from the community, and I'm sure, I missed the whole conversation, but I'm sure that there'll be more opportunity there to provide different activities and programs and services and recreation for our youth. So that should come down within a week. That's the plan.
So some of the preliminary work has started already on the interior of the building to get ready for the demolition, and it should be down beginning next week and into the following week. The demolition should occur.
Clearly before Christmas.
Yes.
So, okay. So that's a major milestone for our community. I know a lot of people have been, that building has been an eyesore. It's been vacant probably for nine years now. So I know the neighborhood will be glad. And I just have to say happy Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to eating a lot of turkey, eating a lot of food, being with friends and family, and I have a lot to be thankful for. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody in Franklin Township. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Charles Only-Jack.
Yes, Mayor. I was privileged to attend the...
Is your mic on?
Oh. Yes. I was privileged to attend the New Jersey League of Municipalities. I learned a lot from the convention. The convention was good, and then a lot of experiences I gained from it. And also, I use this privilege to thank everybody, and I wish the Franklin Township happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your turkey. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Raj Sherman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to let the young man in the back there know that pickleball is a sport that nobody in this town knew anything about until 2 years ago, until many of the people who live in my ward who go to Florida in the winter started advocating for pickleball. We now have a pickleball league. The recreation department fosters competitions, so ideas are always readily and happily accepted, and it has grown enormously. So please add to our list, our inventory. We're always open to that. Couple of things. I did attend a candlelight vigil at Middlebush Reformed Church. That was tied into a program put on by the Franklin Youth Alliance having to do with suicide prevention. It was held by Reverend Montaneri, as well as the young lady who offers free psychological counseling to people who are, it's on a sliding scale, but if you cannot afford it and you need help, the Middle Bush Reformed Church has a professional who can help you. So take that to heart and remember it, or if you know anybody who needs help and can't afford it, they will help you. It's a marvelous program. I also attended the Veterans Memorial on the 11th, and proud of what our township does for our veterans. They really, they don't forget, and they make it known how proud we are, as I am, of our veterans. And happy Thanksgiving. That's it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman Sherman. I can think of 9 people who could benefit from the psychological survey.
Are you suggesting us?
Okay, maybe 8. Deputy Mayor Chase.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Principal thing I have to report is that at the League of Municipalities meeting, we formally received our silver level certification from Sustainable Jersey. We're one of 9 towns receiving silver level certification for the first time. There are a few others that were being recertified at that level. You have to get certified every 3 years. You can be certified more often. There will be an article on this and a picture in the upcoming township newsletter. But we accomplished something there, I think. If I recall right, the plans for development of a bit of athletic facilities at the back of Summerfields, which the main thing was to be a baseball, softball field, but there was also a bocce court to be put in there. But I have to ask the manager where that is. We've been talking about it for quite a long time, and nothing seems to have happened.
So what has happened, I can just give you a quick update on that, is we're in the process of preparing the permit applications with the developer to submit to the various agencies that are required to approve it: Somerset County, DNR Canal Commission, DEP. The final plans are complete, and the builder is prepared to begin construction as soon as we get those permits. The communications have been as recent as today with their attorney about, they have to give us application ready, I should say, yes, application ready applications. That sounds rather redundant. They have to give us completed applications to submit to the various agencies, and they are in the process of completing them for us. The bocce courts are no longer in it. There is an open space field. There is a gazebo and the full-size baseball field. This was a case of, we don't want 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag, so the amenities are limited. It borders the development of where there are several recreational opportunities for those residents, basketball courts and tot lots and the like, that are part of the Summerfields development. So we went with just the open grass field. We don't call them soccer fields, a rectangular grass field. It could be used for any purpose. A baseball field, a gazebo, and a walking path around the pond. And that's what has been limited to at this point.
Oh, sorry, no bocce court.
And the other thought was that there are bocce courts right down the street, down Mettler's Lane, from where this park is being built at Colonial Park.
No. Good. Councilman Prasad reminds me that the Chamber of Commerce reminds us that Saturday is Small Business Saturday. We should patronize our township small businesses. We like to do what we can to make them remain viable, successful. I think that's it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Chase. Deputy Mayor Chase, you live at that end of town. The Franklin Reporter reported that 518 bridge construction should start. Have you noticed Any start?
I haven't been past it in the last couple of days. It was supposed to start yesterday, according to the press release from the Department of Transportation. But press releases are one thing and actual action is another, but I just haven't happened to go downhill rather than uphill in the last 2 days. We're
Thank you.
all anxiously awaiting that, the people of Rocky Hill most of all.
Okay. Thank you. My comments will be short. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and I would just like to invoke Edmund Burke. Thank you. The next item is, I've lost. The next item is the Township Manager's Report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just one thing to report. There's been some questions, and it was a topic of conversation brought up by the mayor, I believe, 2 meetings ago, about the paving of DeMott Lane and our dissatisfaction with the job that the contractor did. As the mayor had stated at that meeting, we were withholding payment and we're demanding that the pavement be repaired appropriately. I am reporting to you that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, the road will be milled and paved again by the contractor at his expense for the length of the paving that was done from Emerson all the way down to Easton Avenue. Our engineering department was not satisfied, nor was I, or many other people who drove on it, and so it will be repaired at their expense.
Thank you. The roller coaster formerly known as DeMont Drive. Council, the next item is council discussion items, and we have none. Approval of the minutes. The minutes of the Township Council work session regular meeting November 10th, 2016 are hereby presented for approval by the Township Council. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And I've heard a second. Any discussion or changes? Seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Deputy Mayor Chase.
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois.
Yes.
Mayor Kramer.
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka.
Yes.
Councilman Prasad.
Yes.
Councilwoman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman.
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella.
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Number 11, approval of the warrants. Warrants in the amount of $4,148,532.64 on November 22nd are presented to the Township Council for payment. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions on the warrants? Seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Deputy Mayor Chase.
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois.
Yes.
Mayor Kramer.
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka.
Yes.
Councilman Prasad.
Yes.
Councilwoman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman.
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella.
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Item number 12, public hearing and adoption of ordinances on second reading. We have no first readings this time. Second readings are when we actually pass or decide not to pass the ordinance. And this ordinance was presented about 2 weeks ago. Ordinance 4168-16, an ordinance amending the municipal code of the Township of Franklin, Somerset County, New Jersey, more particularly Chapter 236, Municipal Services, Schedule A, Countryside at Somerset and Somerset Glen Condominium. The Township Attorney has approved an affidavit of publication, and a public hearing is in order. Do we have a motion to open for public hearing?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Seeing no discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. The meeting is open for public discussion on this item only.
Seeing no one come forward, Mayor, I motion to close the public portion of the hearing.
Seconded.
Should look into it.
Moved and seconded. Seeing no discussion on closing, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. The
Have to look
the
into it.
public portion
Yeah.
for this ordinance is closed. Do I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. For discussion, I will offer what this is about is that we will be plowing the portion of the street on Westminster and the portion of the street on Rolling Hill Drive that were formerly I may have said paving, I meant plowed, were formerly plowed by the condominiums. We'll take over the plowing, and hopefully that will make it a little more efficient in many regards.
And what this ordinance actually does is reduce the payment that we make to the condominium association for them to plow, since we'll be taking over plowing some of it.
Saves money, more efficient. Any other comments?
Call the question.
Do we have a motion? Oh, we already did that. So, Madam Clerk?
Deputy Mayor Chase?
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka?
Yes.
Councilman Prasad?
Yes.
Councilwoman Robinson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
And thus it is so. Ordinance on introduction of first reading, as I said before, we have none. We are now down to the consent agenda items. A through I, as listed on the consent agenda portion of this meeting, are presented to the Township Council for adoption. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Anyone want to pull off any item or highlight any item? Seeing none, Madam Clerk?
Deputy Mayor Chase?
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka?
Yes.
Councilman Prasad?
Yes.
Councilwoman Robinson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
The only item left on the agenda is adjournment. Do we have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, seeing no discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? The meeting is adjourned. Be well, thank Franklin. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.